Good morning, teacher.
Hello, everybody.
Good morning.
Okay, so we're gonna start. I yesterday I forgot to say about the writing. It was a little bit strange the writing, so because we didn't cover certain things, so I was flexible with that. However, remember, do not use Google Translate. I know when you use. It's much better if you use your own words. You write things according what you need to include. Yeah, there's always kind of a guide in the writing. And next time, I remember whenever we do writings, follow the model of the page, follow the writings that we do, so it is easier for you in the future to remember how to do a writing. Believe me, why am I telling you this? Because it has happened to me. If I don't follow the model in the writing section, in the activities that we do, my score will be low, will be not acceptable, or just 10 points or half of the score that is the points that the total points of the score, half of it. So that's why it's really, really important, guys, to follow the model whenever we do a writing, guys. I know that it's kind of difficult to remember, but do it this way so next time you remember how to do the writing. Yeah. So we are going to try to cover all the writings. Yeah. Todos los writings que tenemos aquí trataremos de cubrirlos. Yeah. Okay. So let's start. Can you open your books, please? Uh, Yesterday we were here. We said that the question to ask about certain things about the people, about the weather, about the objects, the things, to give a full description, it is what is it like? Puede ser what is it like, what are they like, if it's plural. In Spanish is cómo está el clima, cómo es la gente, y luego nos vamos con esa misconception o we translate in a wrong way because of the translation how queremos perdón, the translation cómo queremos decir how, pero no, en realidad siempre va a ser what is it like or what are they like, yeah, what is it like, what are they like, forget about how, no how, yeah, sí, la traducción es cómo, pero the correct phrase it is what is it like or what are they like, ¿vale? Okay, so don't forget what is it like, what is the weather like, what are the people like, and they give you description about the physical description, or también puede ser, it can be personality, yeah. Berliners are great, they are interest mixed, they are cosmopolitan, etc. What are the buildings like? Amazing, tall, very tall, very interesting, historical, modern, old-fashioned, yeah, ancient. No, what is the nightlife? The life in the night. Yeah, come on, very obvious. The life in the night or at night. It is fantastic. There are a lot of bars and clubs, wonderful things. Yeah. Basically, all of these questions is about uh, descriptions. Yeah. Don't forget descriptions. Okay? So let's move on to compare. Any questions? ¿Algunas preguntas? Any questions about this?
No, teacher.
No, teacher.
Just remember singular, what is, plural, what are, and the object for the noun.
Yes.
Okay. Huh? Let's go to comparative and superlatives. Read and listen. Map talking about some more cities. What cities can you see in the picture? What cities do you see in the picture?
Tokyo,
Tokyo, Munich, Santa
Santa
Barbara.
Huh? So, what is it? What is Tokyo like for you based on the picture? Or if you know more about Tokyo, you can tell me.
Busy city.
It's a busy city. It's a very modern city for me, I guess. There are lots of things to do and lots of things to buy. What about the city, Munich? What is it like for you, Munich?
It's a beautiful city.
Huh? It's an historical city. It's got old buildings. What about Santa Barbara? What is it like for you, Santa Barbara?
¿Dónde está Santa Bárbara?
I have no idea. I just watching. I'm just looking at the picture. If you see,
Okay.
probably there is the sea, no? Parece. The sea, beach, maybe.
Ajá, al fondo se ve.
So it could be an amazing city, a simple city with
Sunny.
uh Sorry, can you repeat, please?
Sunny city.
It's a sunny city. No. Okay, so it just was to practice what is it like. Remember descriptions. Okay, so hear the conversation and complete the conversation.
7.3 Matt's favorite city.
Do you travel a lot, Matt?
Oh, yes. I often go with Hélène on tour. We've been to Tokyo, Munich, and Santa Barbara recently.
And what are they like?
Well, they're very different cities. Tokyo is obviously the biggest and the busiest. It's much bigger than Munich and much more modern.
And is it more interesting?
In some ways, yes, but I think they're all interesting cities. And in fact, for me, the best and most interesting is Santa Barbara.
Really? Why?
Well, it's much smaller than the other two cities, and it isn't as exciting. It doesn't have Tokyo's skyscrapers or Munich's history, but it's unusual to find a city that's so beautiful and calm, and so green.
Santa Barbara sounds like the best city for relaxing. And what about food? Which is the best city for food?
Oh, for me, Tokyo has the most delicious food. Simple and fresh. I just love Japanese food.
So is it better than sausages and sauerkraut?
I don't know about that.
One more time, I repeat. Remember to complete.
7.3 Matt's favorite city.
Do you travel a lot, Matt?
Oh, yes. I often go with Hélène on tour. We've been to Tokyo, Munich, and Santa Barbara recently.
And what are they like?
Well, they're very different cities. Tokyo is obviously the biggest and the busiest.
The busiest, busiest. No.
It's much bigger than Munich.
Empieza con M.
Must.
Much.
Much.
Much bigger than Munich.
Than. Correct.
And much more modern.
And
And much.
More.
More modern. Yes, correct. Much more modern.
is it more interesting?
In some ways, yes, but I think they're all interesting cities. And in fact, for me, the best and most interesting
Most.
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 Most interesting. Interesting, sorry.
is Santa Barbara.
Really? Why?
Well, it's much smaller than the other two cities,
Than.
Now,
Um,
the other.
and it isn't as exciting.
It isn't
Exciting.
as.
As exciting.
It isn't.
And it isn't as exciting. It doesn't have Tokyo's skyscrapers or Munich's history, but it's unusual to find a city that's so beautiful and calm and so green.
Santa Barbara sounds like the best city for relaxing. And what about food? Which is the best city for food?
Best city for food. Best.
Best city for food, exactly.
Oh, for me, Tokyo has the most delicious food. Simple and fresh. I just love Japanese food.
So is it
As
The most
the most delicious food, simple and
better than sausages and sauerkraut?
Is it better? Comparative
Than.
word?
done.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that. So yeah, as you can see, we check. Well, the first one was like, what are they like? Was the same question for describing places, describing people, etc. Busiest, much, than. We have much. Quan, mm, quantifier, se podría decir quantifier or like an adverb. Yeah. Is to add more emphasis. And we have than compare two things or more than two things. Yeah. Busy es ocupado o mucha gente o tráfico. Entonces, aquí podemos hacerlo superlative, busiest. Yeah. IST. ¿Se dan cuenta? No tengo the most, porque busy is a short adjective. It's a short adjective, entonces para short adjective, y aparte tiene y, tenemos que cambiar y por is. Y aquí ya tenemos much, para darle un poco de énfasis, much, modern, modern. It has two syllables, entonces agrego more modern, comparative, yeah, more modern. Long adjectives, we use more. They are all interesting cities. In fact, for the best, ¿no? Debería ser good, pero aquí ya estoy metiendo superlative, good. Entonces, good es un, how can I say? Irregular adjective, no, por así decirlo, irregular, no puedo decir gooder, no existe la palabra gooder, entonces ocupo better y para hacerlo superlative es the best. ¿Vale? The best and the most interesting. Interesting is a a long adjective, interesting. Tiene 3 syllables. Aquí uso the most. Para long adjectives usamos the most. O more para comparatives. It's much smaller. Small es un short adjective, 1 syllable. Entonces le agrego ER, smaller. ¿Ya? Y tenemos otro comparativo que es as, ¿ya? As exciting, as. A veces tiene 2 as y el adjetivo va en medio. For example, I can say that Cuernavaca is as in Mumbai. Yeah. O puede ser, no tanto, isn't as dirty as Mumbai. ¿Vale? We have another, which is the best city, igual, good, better, the best. Has the most delicious, most, que es delicious, is a long adjective, delicious, 3 syllables, so, the most. Left. It's better than, comparative, siempre puedo usar los comparative, than, ¿vale? Okay, so this is the idea of comparatives and superlatives. Short words, we add ER o ES. Para palabras cortas, por ejemplo, all this small, noisy, big, no puedo usar more. Yeah, it's incorrect to say more. Oh, I know that it's our mind fighting with our translation, ¿no? Because sometimes decimos más viejo, más ocupado, más ruidoso, más interesante. Entonces, quiero decir para todo more y no es posible. Si ciertas palabras, long adjectives, es decir, que tienen más de two syllables or more. Syllables are the sound. Ahí sí es correcto, pero para short adjectives, usamos ER, EST, para comparatives o superlatives. ER, AER, EST, or IST. Por ejemplo, all se convierte en, primero que nada, all is a short adjective or long adjective.
Short,
Short.
yeah, older, ¿no?
Older. Easy. Short adjective or long adjective?
Long.
Long.
Short,
Short.
Entonces, cambia por easier. Small, short adjective,
Pero son 2 sílabas.
busy. Yeah, but it's a short word. Sigue siendo, aquí dice two levels of, it's a little bit complicated to say. I know that.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
If it doesn't have, vamos a ponerlo así, if it has 2 syllables but more than 5 letters, entonces se considera como long adjective, more than 5 letters.
Yeah.
If it's a short adjective, maximum 4, entonces, ya, aunque también
profe, pero
me estoy contradiciendo en noisy. Yeah, it's
lo que le iba a decir.
Yeah.
Digo lo que le iba a decir porque ahí
Sí,
son
sí,
5
ya.
igual.
Me estoy
Pero igual,
pero it's the way it is. No? Sometimes it's because of the sound, because of the short word. Yeah, it's not so long. No lo consideran tan larga o tan grande la palabra, por eso se considera como short adjectives, ¿vale? A pesar de que tienen entre 4 y 5 letras, pero aún así, noi sí, ¿no? Es a short sound, por así decirlo, ¿no? Short sound. Busier, smaller, noisier, incluso, ¿cómo se dice amigable? How do you say amigable?
Friendly.
Friendly.
Friendly. Yeah, son 2 sílabos nada más. Y de hecho son más de 5 letras. Friendly. ¿Ya? Pues ¿cómo creen que será? ¿More friendly o friendlier?
More.
Friendlier.
Friendlier. Yes,
Friendlier. Ajá.
friendlier.
Ah, sí, ya tiene.
¿Vale? Porque normalmente los short adjectives o palabras que tienen y, adjetivos que tienen y, normally they go with er o ier o ist. Entonces puedo oldest, busiest, smallest, noisiest, friendliest. ¿No? Big, bigger, biggest. Es que aquí hay que repetir el letter here. Interesting, así, I see, interesting. Tiene 3 syllables.
Teacher,
More, ¿no?
more
More
interesting.
interesting.
Correct. Yes. Ajá, one question.
Y entonces el most, ¿cuándo se utiliza?
Cuando son superlative, cuando comparamos, when we compare more than 2 things,
Ah, ya,
3 things, or more things, or 5 things,
sí.
or 10 things.
Ajá, es más comparativo. Ok,
Yeah, for example,
thank
the
you.
most interesting city in Europe, estoy hablando de toda Europa, is
Ya, ya, ya.
Germany for me. It varies the opinion, my opinion.
Ok,
I am talking about Europe. Europe, it has a lot of countries. Yeah,
yes.
most interesting. The best food in the world is Mexican food, of course.
Obviously.
All the world because we have tortillas. ¿Ah?
Mm.
Ya con eso. Vale. So, wet, wetter, o wettest. Yeah. Wetter, doblamos, or wetter. Delicious, more, or the most. More or the most. ¿Vale? Tenemos más grammar examples here. Let's go to page 100, 144, 148, sorry. We have more grammar. Here, short adjectives. Look at the chart. Short adjectives, cheap, small, big. Entonces, cheaper, smaller, bigger. Nada de agregarle more. Yeah. Aquí no dice more. More, it's not correct. Y the most, tampoco. Solamente cheapest, smallest, biggest. Bueno, antes de eso está big. Para todos. The cheapest, the smallest, the biggest. For example, digital books are cheaper than physical books, no, everything. My friend's house is smaller than yours. Y aquí usando comparative, I have the biggest dog in my town. Or in my neighbor. El vecindario. Have the
El
biggest.
más grande, ¿no?
Exactly.
Ah, ok.
The biggest. Y aquí ya estoy comparando todo el vecindario, all the neighborhood. The best language to learn, más bien the easiest for language to learn is English. The Japanese because kanji, different letters, the easiest language to learn. But I'm talking about all the languages, no? Okay, so we have here long adjectives or more examples. Adjectives with that end with y, funny, funnier, funniest. ¿Ya vieron? Casi todos los adjetivos que son con y tienen que ser funnier. Yeah, IR o IST. Adjectives with 2 syllables or more, then we add more. Yeah, careful, boring, expensive, interesting, more careful, more boring, more expensive, more interesting, most careful, sorry, more boring, most expensive, most interesting. No? Example, the most expensive phone is the iPhone. Okay. Then, yeah. Digamos, estoy preparándolo, el tuyo. Yes, I have a more interesting book than you. Y por último tenemos los irregulars, bad, good, and bad. Son los únicos. They are the only ones who are irregular. Further, better, worse, fullest, best, and the worst. Yeah, nada de more. Si se dan cuenta aquí, los que no tienen more, no, somos more. Aunque luego nos falla nuestra memory. Yeah. Yeah, for sure, adjective with one vowel and one consonant with double day consonant. Hot, hotter, hottest, fat, fatter, the fattest. Yeah. And you have some examples. Than is often used after comparative, adjective. Valeria, ¿puedes ver? I'm younger.
¿Qué parte, perdón?
Number 2.
Than is often used after a comparative adjective. I am younger than Barbara. Barbara's more intelligent than Sarah.
Thank you. Better, please. Can you read much?
Much can come before the comparative to give emphasis. She is much nicer than her sister. Is Tokyo much more modern than London?
Thank you. The, please, Belen.
They is used before superlative adjectives. He's the funniest boy in the class. Which is the tallest building in the world?
We have the use, yeah, we have the use number one, comparatives, compare one thing, person, action, object with another, yeah, with another. For example, Jason,
Well, profe.
yeah, here, the examples.
She's taller than me. London's more expensive than
There we go, yeah. I can ask you, who is the tallest person in the class? No, maybe a boy, maybe Jason, maybe Valeria, I don't know. Who's the tallest? We use superlatives to compare something with the whole group. She's the tallest in the class. Yeah. It's the most expensive hotel in the world. Yeah. The Paris Hilton Hotel, probably the most expensive. Number three, tenemos as and as. Show that something is the same or equal in positive. Yeah. Positive, it's the same, is equal. For example, Miriam.
James as tall as Peter.
The examples only, the examples.
¿Perdón?
The examples.
Ajá. James as tall as Peter. I am as worried as you are.
That means that it's equal. Yeah, no change. It's equal. For example, Mexico City is as dangerous as Sonora. No, maybe. So, y tenemos negative, not as, and as show that something isn't the same or equal. That means that something is like a comparative in este context. For example, Carolina, Carolina, Roxana, please, can you read the examples?
She isn't as tall as her mother. He isn't nearly as clever as me.
Yes, correct. So that means she isn't as tall as her mother. She's short, no? Como decir, she's shorter. He isn't nearly as clever as me. That means he is less intelligent, no? Por así decirlo, less intelligent. Okay. Any other question, guys? No, it's just a matter that we use them. Okay, it's just a matter that we use them. Okay, so we're gonna focus more on pronunciation, ¿vale? Practice pronunciation. Listen and repeat with your microphone off.
7.4.
Next page, please. This is the next page, 72.
Which is bigger?
Tokyo's bigger than Berlin. Berlin isn't as big as Tokyo.
7.4. Which is bigger?
Tokyo's bigger than Berlin. Berlin isn't as big as Tokyo.
More pronunciation. Listen a short conversation.
7.5. Who's cleverer?
Who's cleverer, you or Ben?
Me, of course. I'm much cleverer than Ben. He isn't nearly as clever as me.
7.5. Who's cleverer?
Who's cleverer, you or Ben?
Me, of course. I'm much cleverer than Ben. He isn't nearly as clever as me.
Yeah, it says practice the conversation using interesting, no? Who is more interesting, you or Ben? Me, of course, I'm much more interesting than Ben. He isn't nearly as intelligent as me, ¿no? Here is like emphasis. Nearly, much, lo ocupamos para énfasis nada más. No se vayan a confundir, don't get confused. It says, listen to the poem and say it at class. Do you agree with it? Learn it by heart.
7.6. A poem.
Good, better, best. Never, never rest. Till your good is better and your better best.
Yeah, it's a little
Good, better, best. Never, never rest. Till your good is better and your better best.
And normally these kind of poems or this kind of short songs they are used for motivation, motivation and for military. Yeah, military good, better, best, never rest till your good is better and your best better best. Okay. Could be. All right. So let's focus on the next part. Next part, it says work in teams, compare the things from in 1 to 5, use the comparative and superlative form of the adjective. You can use also as and as and share your answer. So we're gonna do it tomorrow because we are running out of time, but here is an example. Monaco, Monaco is much smaller than Malta, but the Vatican City is the smallest country. I can say Paris is the most romantic city of all the cities shown in the picture. And I can say that Vatican City is the most religious cities of all. Dubai has taller buildings than Malta, but the best, the best city of all is Paris, right? So these are examples. So think about more, and tomorrow we're gonna practice in pairs. Yeah, here you have some ideas. You can use more adjectives, and here are more animals. Yeah, animals to compare. The most dangerous animal of all is the hippopotamus. Aunque lo crean, hay más muertos de hippopotamus than sharks and lions. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow, guys.
Bye, teacher.